The alarm shrieked through the Vacrian observation post, its piercing wail cutting through the usual silence of deep space monitoring. Akim's four eyes widened as she stared at the holographic display, her scaled fingers dancing across the control panel with practiced urgency. "Impossible," she whispered, her translator unit converting her thoughts into galactic standard. "Verk, get over here, now." Verk abandoned his thermal analysis station and bounded across the cramped observation deck, his footfalls heavy despite the reduced gravity. The young Vacrian male had served alongside Akim for 3 cycles, and he'd never heard that tone in her voice, a mixture of disbelief and something that almost resembled fear. "What am I looking at?" Verk asked, his head tendrils twitching nervously as he examined the scan results. "A ship," Akim replied. "In the Forbidden Zone. The Forbidden Zone. Sector 7 Gamma, the graveyard of civilizations." For 10,000 years, the region had been quarantined by the Galactic Council, after the Arxian Empire's entire fleet had vanished there without a trace. 73 subsequent expeditions, each more advanced than the last, had met the same fate. No distress signals, no wreckage, just nothing. The Council's decree was absolute. The zone was off-limits to all sentient species, enforced by autonomous defense platforms that would destroy any vessel attempting entry. "That's not possible," Verk said, double-checking the sensors. The defense grid should have vaporized anything that came within a light year of the boundary. "Should have," Akim agreed, her primary eyes fixed on the data stream, while her secondary eyes monitored the broader sensor array. "But look at the signature. The ship is inside the zone, deep inside, and it's moving." Verk felt his breathing sacs constrict. "Moving? Nothing moves in there." "What kind of ship is it?" Akim's fingers froze over the console. She'd run the signature through the database 3 times, certain there was an error, but the computer insisted its identification was correct. "Human," she said finally. The word hung in the air like a curse. Humans. The galaxy's newest arrivals, barely 2 centuries into spaceflight, a species so reckless that the Galactic Council had issued 7 separate advisories warning them about dangerous sectors, advisories the humans seemed to interpret as suggestions rather than laws. "We need to report this," Verk said, reaching for the communications panel. "Wait." Akim grabbed his wrist with surprising strength. "Look at the trajectory. The human vessel wasn't just inside the Forbidden Zone, it was maneuvering. Deliberate course corrections. Controlled burns." The ship was navigating through space that had swallowed the most advanced armadas in galactic history. "They're going to die," Verk said softly, "just like all the others." "Maybe," Akim replied. "Or maybe," she didn't finish the thought. Couldn't, because the alternative was too troubling to voice. What if humans could survive where everyone else had failed? Over the next 6 hours, Akim and Verk watched in silent fascination as the human ship, identified as the USF Defiant, penetrated deeper into the zone. Their sensors tracked every movement, recorded every energy signature. The gravitational anomalies should be tearing that ship apart. Verk muttered, cross-referencing the readings with historical data. That region has spatial distortions that crushed Arxian dreadnoughts like tinfoil. The ship's hull composition is unusual, Akim observed. They're using some kind of adaptive plating. It's reconfiguring in real time to compensate for external stresses. Adaptive plating? That's theoretical technology. The Council's best scientists haven't even managed a working prototype. Akim's translator unit chirped with dry amusement. Humans don't seem concerned with what's theoretical. Then something changed. The Defiant stopped moving. Both Vacrians leaned closer to their displays, afraid to blink. The human ship had positioned itself at the exact center of the Forbidden Zone, the epicenter of the gravitational chaos, the point of no return, where reality itself seemed to fracture. "What are they doing?" Verk breathed. The answer came moments later. The Defiant deployed a series of probes, each one spreading outward in a precise geometric pattern. Energy readings spiked as the probes activated, generating a harmonic resonance that Akim's instruments had never detected before. "They're mapping it," she realized. "They're not trying to escape. They came here deliberately. They're studying it." The harmonic resonance intensified, and suddenly the sensors showed something that made both Vacrians' blood run cold. The spatial anomalies were responding to the human probes, their chaotic patterns beginning to synchronize, to stabilize. By the ancestors, Verk whispered. They're controlling it. 20 minutes later, the Defiant began its journey back toward the zone's boundary. Not fleeing, but moving with the same calculated precision it had demonstrated throughout the expedition. The human ship navigated through the gravitational maze as if it were a mere inconvenience. As the vessel crossed the threshold and exited the forbidden zone, Akeem received a priority transmission. She opened the channel and a human face appeared on the screen. Captain Sarah Chen, according to the identifier. Vakrian observation post. This is Captain Chen of the Defiant. We've completed our survey of Sector 7 Gamma and are transmitting our findings to the Galactic Council. The zone is safe for exploration provided proper resonance frequency. Protocols are observed. We've attached detailed specifications. Oh, and tell the Council those defense platforms are seriously outdated. We shut them down from the inside. You might want to upgrade them. The transmission ended. Akeem and Verk stared at each other in stunned silence. They shut down the defense grid, Verk said numbly. They solved the forbidden zone, Akeem corrected. In 6 hours, humans accomplished what the entire Galactic Council couldn't do in 10,000 years. Verk's head tendrils drooped in resignation. The galaxy is never going to be the same, is it? Akeem watched the Defiant disappear into the starfield, a small smile crossing her scaled features. No, she agreed. It definitely won't be. The end.